So let me ask you. So for the folks that are real estate professionals and real estate investors, I get this question quite often because I lead a team of real estate agents, and I am also a real estate investor.
You're
So
busy.
what? Yeah, I try to be, brother. I try to be. What is the best business entity for most entrepreneurs, and why is that? Because I've seen corporations, I've seen LLC, I see a whole bunch of stuff on social media. So from as the professional, what is the most advantageous business entity that you can start today?
So you and your audience are probably going to hate me for saying this.
Uh-oh.
It depends.
Okay.
It really depends. Everybody's at a different level, right?
Yeah.
You said you lead a team of agents. If you're a brand new agent that's coming into the game and you're getting your commissions, it's probably just best to get it as a person, as a sole proprietor under your social security number, right? But now you're starting to do multiple deals and it's predictable. You're doing, I don't know, 100, 200 deals every year. And I know deal size matters in commission,
Right.
but you're making good money every year. Then you might want to start looking at some other entity choices, whether it be an LLC, whether it be an S-Corp, things like that.
And what is an LLC?
LLC stands for a limited liability company, not a limited liability corporation, as we see a lot of times on these trash streets on social media. But that's what it stands for, limited liability company.
Okay.
And for the IRS, right, I want everybody to be clear on this. The IRS does not care about your single member LLC. They still treat you like a sole proprietor. And so it's still good to have, potentially, if you have some assets and you want to protect them, because you're scared you might get sued. Now, I will say this, a lot of people get the LLC, they don't think about getting insurance. I would say get your insurance,
Yeah.
max it out, umbrella, liability, whatever you need to get
Right.
before you get the LLC, and then get the LLC, if it makes sense for you.
So if I'm understanding correctly, an LLC essentially is more of a protection for an individual so that they can't be sued directly. For example, if you're a real estate investor, you have your home in under your LLC, somebody slips and falls, then they can sue the LLC because that's the entity that owns that property, but they cannot come after Marvin, the person, for my personal assets. Is that a fair
In
understanding?
theory, that's correct, but there's always caveats, and there's always times where people have been sued even though they have a quote-unquote LLC. Right. So nothing is foolproof, nothing is absolute. And I am not an attorney, so don't say Kamari's out here on these streets giving out legal advice.
Of course. And I think that it's just, if you want to be taken seriously as a business, I personally think your first step is by getting your finances separated and doing your business transactions through a business type of account, and then anything that's not related to your business, not doing that through your regular checking. For the brand new entrepreneur, would that be a great way to start, as far as to start thinking about, okay, for this dollar that I have, I'm going to put this dollar, if I earned it, under my business, as a real estate professional, as a commission, or through rent that I'm getting as a real estate investor? Should I put this money in my personal checking account, or should I put this in a business checking account, typically speaking?
Typically, it's best to put it in a business checking account. But if you're brand new, brand spanking new, you don't have, I was going to say something, but I know this is a family-friendly show. You don't have much money. You can start off and get established and get your legs underneath you, and the money going into your account is good. However, when tax time comes around,
Right.
it might be a bit challenging because you're going to need to be able to figure out what tax deductions you might have working in that business.
That's a good point.